Om 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 Sahana Bhavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Bole Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Oh, Hari Om. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gum Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Sam Saraswatyai Namaha. Hari Om. Welcome to this third day of the Great Vision of Vedanta in this series called in the series on YouTube titled Chinmaya Brinda. So we are looking into this Shiva Sankalpa Suktam. Shiva Sankalpa Suktam is in the Vajasane Samhita of the Shukla Yajurveda and very potent 6 verses on the mind. It is in worship of the mind, and when we worship something, when we praise something, the powers of what we praise happen to us, come to us, and also with something that is assisting us in our day-to-day activities, every moment of every part of our day, even when we sleep at night, the mind is constantly working, watching, and being aware for us and working for us. So it is but fit to worship the mind and pray to that mind that we may have auspicious thoughts. Tanme manaha Shiva Sankalpam astu. So, the third verse, Yat prajnanam mutacheto dhritischa Yat jyotirantaramritam prajasu Yasman narate kinchana karma kriyate Tanme manaha Shiva Sankalpamastu. Tanme manaha Shiva Sankalpamastu. Yat prajnanamuta cheto dhritischa Yat jyotirantar amritam prajasu Yasman narate kinchana karma kriyate Tanme manaha Shiva Sankalpamastu. Tanme manaha Shiva Sankalpamastu. Tat me manaha. In that my mind, Shiva Sankalpam astu. May there be auspicious thoughts in that mind. Sankalpam means samyak kalpaha. Samyak is proper, samyak is complete. Complete thoughts. Thoughts that serve us, thoughts that help us, thoughts that console us, thoughts that give us the right perspective in life, give us the right direction in life, thoughts that are compassionate towards us. That is what, even when we pray to Bhagwan, when we do our puja, we invoke Dhyayami, Avahayami, Asanam Samarpayami, and then we raise the prana in that deity. We chant all the prana mantras, and then we say Sumukho Bhava, Varado Bhava, Suprito Bhava, Suprasanno Bhava, Avakuntito Bhava, Prasida Prasida. We say to the deity which we have invoked, we say Sumukho Bhava, may you be speaking well towards me. Varado Bhava, may you give me all blessings. Suprito Bhava, may you be very pleased with me. May whatever I speak and whatever I do, it is very important in relationships. When we understand these verses from the Shiva Sankalpa Suktam and we live according to that, our relationships also will be very good, because the practice of invoking the deity, the practice of welcoming the deity, and the practice of praying to the deity, may you be happy with us, may you consider us in a very happy way, may you be auspicious towards us. All this is in praise, welcoming that deity. In the same way, we are praising the mind and we are asking the minds to give us good thoughts. Samyak kalpaha. With good thoughts, we can win anything in this world. We can be successful in this world. What is that mind? Yat prajnanam. That which is the intelligence principle. What is the mind? Prajnanam. In this Aitareya Upanishad, there is this Mahavakya, Prajnanam Brahma. Prajnanam, Prakarshena Jnanam. That which is known very clearly, which means thought. Prajnanam is Brahma, is space, is consciousness, is the mind. That is the intelligence principle. That is that supreme, that is the deity, that is the Brahman that we are speaking. Prajnanam Brahma. Uta Chetaha. Also consciousness. That consciousness is the mind. That Prajnanam is the mind. And this Prajnanam is a supreme truth, supreme reality. Fortitude. Dhritihi. Tejaha Kshama Dhriti Shaucham Adroho Nati Manitam Bhavanti Sampadam Deivim Abhijatosi Pandavam. Dhriti. Dhriti means fortitude. Yena Dharyate. That by which everything is born. There is a very famous film song. Vanatti Pola Manam Padaitha Mannavane. That is Dhriti. Vanatti Pola Manam Padaitha. Mean that which the mind, which is like the sky for this person. What is it, man? Yadayum Tangum Idayam Vendum, said Annadurai. You need a heart which can bear everything. That is called Dhriti. Whatever that is good, whatever that is bad, whatever that can give us sorrow, to be able to bear that in our heart is called Dhriti. Dhritam Rashtram Yena. That is why Dhritarashtra is called Dhritarashtra. He is the one who bears the Rashtra, one who bears the country. Where does he bear the country? He bears the country in his heart. That is, a king bears the country in his heart. He feels for all the people, or he is supposed to feel for all the people. That is Dhriti. Dhriti is the mind. Yet Jyotihi Antaha Amritam Prajasu. What is the light with which we see when we go to sleep? When during daytime, we see everything around us because of the light of the sun, because of the light in the atmosphere, because of the light in the room, by tube light, by torch light, by car light, or by fire light, or by amber light, or even a small glow light we see outside. But inside our mind, when we close our eyes, when we go to sleep, we are seeing so many thoughts. Even when we don't sleep, we close our mind, we are aware of some thoughts we have. We are aware of the feelings that we have. How do we see all that? How do we get the awareness to understand that this is a thought, this is a good thought, this is a bad thought, these are the feelings that I have? How do we know all that? It is because of the presence of the mind. And when we go to sleep, we are aware of all the dreams that we get. How do we know that? How do we know that this is a dream that I'm seeing and these are all the people? How do we remember all that? It is because of the presence of the mind. And when we wake up in the morning, we say, I slept very well, or I did not sleep well. I had a disturbed sleep. When we were not aware during sleep, who was aware during sleep? The mind is there, the consciousness is there in the time when we sleep. Here, even though it is said mind, manaha, it is consciousness that enlivens the mind, and because of the presence of consciousness, even that inert mind, we say tat me manaha. Tat means it's an inert object. Even though the mind is an inert object, because of the presence of consciousness, it is enlivened, and that mind is able to say that I had the thought that I slept well, I had the thought that I did not sleep well. Antaha amritam prajasu. Praja means in all beings. Prakarshena jayate iti praja. All beings, all creatures, whether it's a plant, whether it's an animal, whether it's an insect, whether it is a bird, whether it is a human being, everything is able to experience something within. Even crows, sometimes when crows come, they are so intelligent. When the crow knows that there is somebody to feed, it comes and gives. When it sees that person moving around in the house, it comes to the window and gives a sound. It caws and asks for food. And when it knows that the person does not mean any harm, it just waits there till we give the food, and it is not afraid of that person's hand also, and it eats the food and then it goes, and whenever it is hungry it comes again and asks for food. So how is a crow able to do all that? Because of the presence of the mind within. Antar amritam prajasu. Yasman na rite kinchana karma kriyate. Yasmat na rite, without, because of that mind, kinchana karma kriyate. Just imagine if the husband of the house is sitting and reading the newspaper. It happens in many houses most of the time. And the wife is saying, please get me chilies. She has given the whole list from the kitchen. I want you to buy chilies, tomatoes, I want to buy onions, I want you to buy this. The whole list is there, and the husband has not lifted his head off the paper. And after some 5 minutes, the wife has thought that he has got the list and he has gone out. These days, we don't need to really lock the door and all that. Everybody can, it's a self-lock and all that can be done. And one person takes a key and comes back. So the wife thought that the husband has gone and he would have almost bought things and come now. And he's still sitting in the hall reading the paper. And she gets very angry. She says, I've told you so much. Have you not gone yet? You're still sitting here. And the husband says, what did you tell? I don't know anything. He was engrossed in the paper. The mind of this person was engrossed in the paper. Even though the physical body, the ears have heard the sound has not been registered because the mind is engrossed in the paper. Yasman narate kinchana karma kriyate. Without the application of this mind in something, even a little action is not possible. How many times have we lifted something to just drop it down? Why is it getting dropped? The physical body is having the object. The hand is not shaking. Nothing is imperfect. Everything is okay. Everything is perfect. Still the object falls from the hand. It is because the mind is not steady. Because the mind is not steady, the breathing is not steady. And because the breath is not steady, the object doesn't stand in our hand, even though we have lifted it with the idea that we want to pick it. There is some disturbance there and the object falls. It is because only with the concentration and application of mind, it is possible to do any action. So what are all the qualities that we saw now? Yat prajnanam uta chetaha dhritischa. that which is the intelligence principle. This mind is the intelligence principle in us. Uta chetaha. This mind is conscious because it has got the consciousness. Very consciousness is the support of the mind. It is conscious. Dhriti. This mind has got the capacity to hold everything within it. When we say everything, what does the mind hold? The mind holds thoughts. The mind holds feelings. The mind holds emotions. The mind holds memories. The mind holds our desires. Everything is in the form of thoughts only. And the mind holds situations. If you can see the whole room in this one screen, it is not because the eyes are holding them. The eyes are just a mirror of what is there outside. It is the mind that is holding the whole thought in it. As one thought, this whole screen, this whole room, including the person in the image, including the one who is listening, I am listening, this person is talking, everything the mind is holding. The mind is chetaha, dhriti. The mind is holding everything. It is bearing everything. That is why the mind actually is very comfortable when everything is at peace. When everything is at peace, the mind can hold comfortably. When the situation changes in the atmosphere, when there is disturbance, when people start fighting, when people start arguing with each other, when people start shouting at you, that time we are not able to bear it because the mind cannot hold easily. The mind gets disturbed. When the mind gets disturbed, the mind is the field in which these thoughts are coming. It is just like the Wi-Fi connection. The Wi-Fi connection is a field in which all our conversations happen and we can talk. Even when there is a power supply that is very strong, sudden jolt of power supply or the attention withdrawal of power, the Wi-Fi connection gets disturbed and we are not able to receive messages. In the same way, when there is a jolt of power supply, when people shout, when people are angry, when people are disturbed, and when people throw things about, there is a disturbance in the atmosphere. The mind shuts down because it cannot hold. It is not capable of holding. So, dhriti, this mind is that which holds inside. This mind is the light by which we see our thoughts, see our feelings, see our emotions. See means understand that we have something. See our desires, experience our desires, see the images that we create when we daydream, or even see the vision boards that we have in our mind. What is it that I want to do? See the future, see the past to learn lessons, see the future to know that this is what I am heading towards. And all this is being shown by the mind in the form of thoughts. The mind has thoughts, and these thoughts give us knowledge. And it is the awareness in the mind that reveals to us these thoughts. In this room, there are so many things, but without the light around in this room, we will not know that these things are prevalent. We will not know that these things are present. So, how do we know that? It is because of the presence of light in the room. In the same way, because of the presence of the light of consciousness, we are able to see whatever is there in this mind. Kriyate, kinchana kriyate. To that mind, tanme manaha Shiva Sankalpamastu. Tanme manaha Shiva Sankalpamastu. Yasmatna rute kinchana karma kriyate. In the Bhagavad Gita, there is a very beautiful verse in chapter 18, verse number 16. Verse number 14. Adhishtanam tatha karta karanam cha pruthak vidham vividhascha pruthak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchakam. If any work has to happen, there have to be these 5 things. What are they? Adhishtanam, there has to be a base. If I have to write, I should have an adhishtanam. I should be able to sit somewhere. I should be able to keep the book. I should be able to rest the pen on something and then move. Adhishtanam is the base. Tatha, so if the adhishtanam is there, the work will not happen. If the book is there, if the seat is there, the writing will not happen. There has to be a person, a karta, who sits there to do the work. Tatha karta, the individual who is doing that work. And then, if the karta is there and the adhishtanam is there, even then the work will not happen. You need a karanam. You need a tool by which the outer tool is a pen or the spade or the cricket bat, whatever it is, the outer tool. The inner tool is the antakaranam. Antakaranam is the mind, the manas, the buddhi, the chitta, and the ahankara. 4 different thought modifications. These are required. Karta is required. Karta, karanam, the tool by which it is done. Karanam cha prathak vidam, different types of tools are required. Then there are different types of actions. The actions are also different. Vividhascha prathak cheshta. And after all this, you need something called daivam. Daivam is the word we saw. What is that? The first verse. One moment, please. So, Yajjagrato Duramudaiti Daivam. Daivam means that power, effulgent illuminator. That is the mind. This Daivam is also required for doing any action. Without these 5 things, and without, most importantly, without this illuminator called the mind, no action is possible. So this adhishtanam, whatever is required for prajnanam. What is this mind? Prajnanam, consciousness, self within is this mind. Prakrishta jnanam. What is this jnanam? Jnanam is not something very sacred or sacrosanct only. Everything is jnanam. If there is a pen stand here, I am showing a pen stand. You are seeing this pen stand or a pencil stand. You see this, it can look like a teacup, but since it holds pencils and a scale, you can say it is a pen stand. So you get this thought within. It is pramana vritti. When I see this object through the eyes are reflecting it within. The mind is there, it throws light on that thought, and then I get the thought called pen stand. So prajnanam is prakrishta jnanam. Very clearly I am seeing it is a pen stand. It is not a teacup, because every object, every thought reveals to us one thing about what it is, and it also tells us what all it is not. So how do we see that what is and what is not? Even if it is very dark in the night, even when we have closed our eyes, we say, I don't know anything. So who is the one that shows us this thought of I don't know? It is the mind. Prajnanam, prakrishta jnanam, very clear knowledge. Chetas is that consciousness or awareness which illumines the sounds we hear, the sights we see, the smells we experience, the tastes that we go through, the different feelings of heat and cold that we have. Everything is being illuminated by this consciousness. Dhriti is the ability to hold even when the body and senses are tired. So when we go to sleep at night, we forget the mind. The body is not holding any information because the eyes are shut, nothing comes in. But still, the mind is aware. There are many people, if they're sleeping alone in a big house, there was one person, it is a very big apartment, a big multi-storied house, in which on one day, he was alone there. And when I was talking to that person on the phone, he said, I closed the gate, I closed the front doors, I close the inner doors, I close the doors of all the other rooms, and then I closed the bedroom door and I latched it and I went to sleep. So somebody asked, why are you closing the bedroom door? There's nobody in the house, right? No, the mind is there. The mind keeps traveling all around the place. If the mind is not given the signal that there is nothing else to do, it will just keep wandering, even in our YouTube, or whenever we see something on the computer also, or through the internet. Sometimes you see this buffering happening. The buffering is happening because the signal is not very strong, and this image is going on searching. It is not stopping, it is not resting. That's called buffering. And in the same way, when the signal is not very clear at night time, when we shut our eyes and go to sleep, the signal outside is not clear, and so the mind will be buffering with half baked information and still very anxious and trying to know what is happening. So that is the reason why people do all these things like shutting the door and closing the door and sleeping, because they don't want the mind to be restless. Otherwise the sleep will not be good, because the mind is one part of the mind, or many parts of the mind are constantly thinking about what is happening everywhere, and in the darkness it's not able to see. So driti, the mind is bearing all information. For people, there will be, for dhriti is fortitude. I really want to do it. The dhriti can be sattvika dhriti, that is something that is uplifting for the world and for ourselves. We go ahead and we finish that project. It is sattvika dhriti. Rajasika dhriti is some selfish desire. We very ambitiously go ahead and pursue that, is Rajasika dhriti. Tamasika dhriti is something that is not good for anybody, something that is not good for the world also, something that's not good for the me also, but still persistently I go after that and I want to complete it. That is Tamasika dhriti. So the mind is capable of all these three qualities. The mind is capable of all these three gunas because it is made up of sattva guna, rajoguna, and tamoguna. Light within is the jyotihi antah prajasu. In all beings, this is the light of consciousness. When we say light, and when people say I'm meditating, and in meditation you can see that light. If you say somebody will try to meditate and close their eyes, and they will come and complain, I did not see any light in meditation. It is not a physical material light that you can see. We say I feel very light, so it does not mean that I'm feeling so light as a feather. When you do a physical exercises and yoga and pranayama, this expression is there. So it does not mean that that person is feeling light. You cannot feel light, you can only see light. When somebody says they're feeling light, they're feeling like light. In the same way, like light is illumining, like light is showing everything, the mind is showing the thoughts, showing the presence of the thoughts we have to us. That is the antarjyoti, the light within. And Amritam, this mind is immortal. It has been traveling with us for eons together. We don't know how many lifetimes. It is only that the body dissolves in this lifetime, but the mind is traveling with us lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. And even during the ice age or the stone age, whatever memories we have, everything is there in the chittam, or this, the consciousness with objects, with thoughts. The thoughts are all stored in our mind, and everything is there, everything can be retrieved, which is being shown not only by many things that we are talking in our Vedanta, Upanishads, and in the Vedas. Today, with the equipment of modern technology, is being shown for us by scientific equipment, and scientists, especially the quantum physicists, are coming very close to these concepts and thoughts that are there in the Upanishads, even though none of them will be able to finally come to that conclusion about what is that is being spoken of in the Upanishads, because all scientific equipment, all scientific thoughts are all focused outside. They're all explaining through the lens of the eyes. And when Vedanta is telling something, it is talking about the one who is seeing behind the lens, the one who is seeing behind the telescope, the one who is hearing behind that stethoscope, the one who is looking behind the microscope. That is the person we are talking about. And we will never be able to see. You will never be able to see yourself in the house as long as you are trying to search for this person inside, out through the window, outside the window. One small boy is looking outside. It is just a joke. It is not a reality because nobody does this. They know. They're looking outside. Mother is coming and asking, "What are you searching for?" The boy says, "I am searching where I have gone. I am lost. So I am searching, I am seeing whether I am there in that staircase outside or I am there in that building outside." We will never find ourselves there because we are here. And so we will never find the mind anywhere else because the mind is here. Antah prajanam. And this mind is immortal. Immortal means it is there traveling with us. When we hear stories by psychiatrists who have recorded past life regressions, life between lives is in this lifetime and the previous lifetime. In between that time, what are we doing? Everything is there in the form of thoughts in the mind, which can be retrieved. They are taped, they are written about, they are spoken about in many fora. Even on your internet, if you click, there are association for past life regression therapists, International Association of Scientific Recordings of past life regression. Everything is possible because that mind is there. When one person is there is a person who entered into a big hall